We'll remind you of the breaking story. There's been an attempted hit on a person implicated in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, which is probing allegations of political interference and infiltration within the South African Police Service. The individual is reportedly linked to the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department. Now, preliminary information suggests the victim was previously mentioned by the late witness D during testimony at the commission. Those are in fact live visuals that we're seeing there now. Reporter Griselda Lewis is on the field for us to bring us the very latest. A very good afternoon to you, Griselda. Share with us the very latest from where you are.
Indeed, Mfundo, we are live from Van Dyke Park. This is in Boksburg, and this is where Andre Pretorius, who was named by witness D, you'd recall, was assassinated last year, Marius van der Merwe, at the Madlanga Commission. He was named by him, and you'd recall that it was mentioned that, a little bit earlier on today, there was a voice note circulating from Andre Pretorius, who survived this hit. In a voice note, he basically called out for help, saying that his bakkie had been shot at, and it looks like it was an apparent hit. I'm going to ask my colleague to zoom in towards that bakkie that you see right in front of you. That's believed to be the bakkie that was in this hit. We do believe that Andre Pretorius had survived this hit, and those are the details that we have at this stage. You can see that some of the forensics teams are still combing the scene at this time. And you'd recall that Pretorius and others had been linked to the dumping of a body in Brakpan almost 4 years ago. Remember that IPID, of course, has been sent that docket for a decision on that. And in fact, I'm going to bring in more details in just a moment. In fact, if you look towards where that area has been cordoned off, that is the bakkie that has been hit. And Andre Pretorius, of course, having survived that particular hit. I'm going to bring in the the provincial police commissioner here in Gauteng, Mthombeni, just to get a sense of what the latest is. If you could please come this way, PC, would appreciate your time. PC, we are at the scene of what appears to be a hit. Can you give us details of what has transpired here?
Good morning and greetings to the viewers at home. We really appreciate for the opportunity. Indeed, we can confirm that this morning the victim was moving from a garage towards to the address where he stays, of which the address is on the street. There was a vehicle which moved towards his vehicle as he was stopping in front of the gate. And suddenly this particular vehicle started shooting. While started shooting, his indication is that he tried and then to move out of the car and then he hid. Based on our observation, we have since noticed that there are 16 bullets, around the vehicle. I'll say, around the vehicle. And he was not harmed, or he escaped unharmed, and suddenly that vehicle sped off.
PC, do we know the circumstances as yet? I know investigations are still at a very premature stage, but do we know, are there any links at this particular stage? I don't know if this area has any CCTV, anything that you might be combing at this stage to try and get to the bottom of what transpired here. But you are confirming, of course, that it looks to be a hit.
Yeah, I'm confirming that the incident did take place as we are investigating attempted murder on the victim. And of course, in terms of investigating aids, we are looking into the issues of the CCTV cameras, of which we will explore in terms of the technology around this area. You can see the area looks to be an influent area, of which one can say hopefully we'll get the CCTV footage, which will assist us in terms of the investigation.
PC, it's already out on social media, the name of the victim, of the supposed person who was in that attempted hit. It's believed that this is someone that was mentioned at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Can you confirm that to us? And also, number two, is there a general concern amongst police now? We know what happened last year to Witness D. This looks to be, somehow from what we have gathered as the media, there may be some kind of link.
What I can say to the public out there, it is indeed we're investigating these cases. It's attempted murder, but confirmation as to say, is this individual one who's mentioned in Madlanga Commission. We know for the fact that the Madlanga Commission have a spokesperson, and it will be appropriate and then to make a confirmation through the Madlanga Commission. And it is a concern also to the South African Police Service in relations to the Witness D, as we are, of course, investigating that case. The investigation is on an advanced stage, and I hope not so long we will be in a position to can inform the public in terms of the investigation for the death of Witness D.
And also, PC, the last time we were on location of the scene of Witness D, there was a lot of talk about the protection of witnesses and those that are going before very important inquiries that are taking place in the country at the moment. And at the time, the police did indicate that they were having discussions with the Madlanga Commission to see how there can be more protection given to individuals, either mentioned or people who are going to appear before the Madlanga Commission. Where are those talks to ensure that, because this seems to be, you may not want to confirm at this stage if this is an individual who was mentioned at the Madlanga Commission, but of course that information will come forth at some point. But in terms of the protection of people mentioned and even witnesses before the Madlanga Commission, what is being done to ensure that these individuals are protected?
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, you are taking me to the Madlanga Commission. And I've clearly indicated that the Madlanga Commission, they do have a spokesperson, and it will be appropriate in terms of the issues relating to Madlanga Commission to allow, the Commission to respond to that. But safe to say, in terms of the process relating to the witness protection, as the South African Police Service, where we are investigating the case, and it's clearly that there is a need for a witness to go through a witness protection, we will, of course, do the necessary, linking up with the NPA, and from there, the NPA will take the process forward in terms of witness protection.
PC, was there anything else that was found at the scene? You spoke about the car being shot at 16 times, if I heard you correctly. Anything else that was found at the scene? Obviously, nothing was taken from the man who was inside the vehicle?
That's far based on the interview of the victim. Nothing was taken. And of course, when you're having a shooting incident or exchange of fire, you will of course get the cartridges on the crime scene. And obviously that we do have. And currently the vehicle on which the victim was using is part of the crime scene being processed. As you can see that the local criminal record center crime scene management, they are here on the crime scene in ensuring that they comb up the scene so that it can assist investigation. Maybe safe to say that we have put the team together. I would say a team which is competent based on us in order to investigate the issues relating to the witness deed. That's why I say we are on an advanced stage, and not so long we'll be in a position to can inform the public. But other than that, based on our interview with the victim, nothing was taken.
Commissioner Moloko Moloto here on ENCA. Do you suspect as the police that possibly there's a coordinated syndicate here trying to perhaps get rid of evidence as authorities are investigating in evidence that's emerging out of the Madlanga Commission?
That question to say it's a coordinated syndicate to remove the evidence, I will say is something which we are probing, which we are looking at. And as for now, it's not something which I can confirm to say there is such evidence or there's a such allegation as such, but it's something which, of course, we'll have to look on. As I've said, that we have put these competent investigators under to investigate this case as well as the case for witness D.
And I know, Commissioner, you really don't want to be dragged into the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, but the least that we know is that this particular gentleman whose life was attempted on was implicated by the late witness D. And allegations, therefore, were that he was essentially placed at the crime scene of the man whose body was later dumped in a dam in this area of Ekurhuleni. How far are you with the investigation regarding this particular gentleman?
You're speaking of the two cases, the alleged dumping of the body in a dam. That case is being investigated by IPIT. But safe to say, if you are indicating that the name is the name which have been indicated or implicated in Madlanga Commission, as I've indicated, it will be safe really to link up with the spokesperson, and maybe you can get something out of that. So the case of somebody dumped into the dam is a separate case, of which that case is investigated by IPIT. And I think yesterday they've issued the media statement in terms of the progress relating to the investigation. And as the South African Police Service, we are of course investigating the case of the death of witness D.
And I'm going back to the Madlanga Commission, I'm afraid, Commissioner. With the late witness D had said that this particular person had always presented himself as a police officer. Is he a policeman or not?
Which person, Moloko?
The person whose life was attempted.
Today?
Yes.
Yeah. The victim is not a police officer. And drawing me back to Madlanga Commission, I'll also refer you back to Madlanga Commission. You must take note that we are still on the investigation stage or investigating. As and when these issues comes out, the issues will most probably come out or out to the public domain as and when we're taking these cases to court, when that time comes.
Yeah. Okay.
Provincial Police Commissioner Criselda Lewis, SABC Television News once again. When you say that the investigation into witness D's murder is at an advanced stage, are we looking at any arrests anytime soon? The matter, I know you'd been combing through CCTV footage and there was a vehicle or vehicles that had been seized by police.
I would say yes, of course, that is what we are looking at, but you must take note that in terms of moving forward, in terms of that, we are dealing with this investigation in terms of a prosecutorial guided investigation, and as and when we are taking this case to the prosecution and ultimately we secure what we're supposed to be securing. We are of course expecting soon some sort of arrest.
Commissioner, I know that we joined this briefing a little bit late in the middle of it, but I'm going to ask you to take us back to this scene. What happened? What do we know? And who is involved?
Thank you very much. Again, I'll just repeat myself to say, based on the interview with the victim. It was around about 9 o'clock. The victim was from a garage in this surrounding area, and then moving towards the resident where he stays. As and when he parks the vehicle in front of the gate and was approached by a vehicle. And suddenly this vehicle starts shooting. While shooting, the victim, he made sure that he goes undercover, ensuring that his life is safe. And out of the shooting, there were 16 bullets which were shot at his vehicle, and suddenly that vehicle sped off. And the victim is unharmed, and of course, so we are investigating the case of attempted murder, of which the victim is the complainant.
In terms of, since your presence here, are there any leads that perhaps you are able to follow, which you believe will help you to crack this case?
Yeah, well, the investigating team, as I said, we have set up the competent investigation team, which also investigate, the witness this case. They are coming on the relevant leads, and we are convinced that at the end of the day we'll be in a position to can get the issues of technology. As you can see, this place, it looks like, for me, looks like affluent suburbs, and we hope that we will be in a position to can get something in terms of technology which will assist us in our investigation.
Give us an update, use this opportunity at least in regard to the investigation involving witness D.
I think I've provided that progress. I've indicated that we have put up a competent team, and we are at the advanced stage of ensuring that we have ultimately has to put this case maybe before the court of law, and in due course we will be in a position to can inform the public.
Thank you so much. The provincial.
Thank you, guys. That is the provincial police commissioner here in Gauteng, Tommy Mthombeni, giving us the latest from this scene, which is still very active. The car behind me, that white bakkie, we are hearing from police, was shot at 16 times. Police say that the victim who survived this hit had come from a garage, and from the garage, this is where the incident had taken place. Police said they were going to be combing this area to try and follow any leads possible. If there's any CCTV footage that they would need to look at in terms of getting more information about what transpired here, they will certainly be doing so. But in terms of the details that we have at this stage, is that the victim was mentioned by witness D. You would recall Marius van der Merwe, who was gunned down last year in the very Boksburg area, and in terms of the investigation into that, we're hearing from the provincial police commissioner that they are at an advanced stage of that investigation, and they're saying they're leading a prosecutorial-led investigation into that matter, and arrests could be likely in that particular matter. But of course, you'd recall that van der Merwe had mentioned that the man who we believe in this instance to be Weandre Pretorius, all right, you see the provincial police commissioner once again with General Fred Kakana heading towards this particular scene. The forensics teams are still investigating, combing the scene for any clues. But of course, 16 bullets that were shot at the victim, Weandre Pretorius, who survived this hit, we understand, managed to cower inside his vehicle. And after cowering inside that vehicle, he managed to escape this particular hit. I guess great concern at this particular point, while the provincial police commissioner did not want to be drawn at all into whether this would be linked to the Madlanga Commission. I guess we'll ask our colleague Kani Mapanga if they're able to get some comment from the Madlanga Commission there, because as we have it, as members of the media, this is an individual, who was mentioned in the Madlanga Commission, and you would recall Pretorius, Andre Pretorius, who's the man who escaped this hit, had been linked to the dumping of a body in Brakpan. You'd remember Marius van der Merwe said he had been present when this body had been dumped. You'd recall that is the body of Mr. Mbenze, and that particular matter has been forwarded to the Independent Police Investigative Directorate that indicated that they were investigating the matter. You can see as well police heading towards next door neighbours, I guess, to try and ascertain if any of them might have seen or heard anything at this stage. Investigations, of course, still at a very premature stage. There's not much that we know at this particular time, but what we do know is that this attempted hit was at about 9 o'clock this morning, that Mr. Andre Pretorius had been driving from a garage to that location where he is, and that's when the gunman had opened fire on him, and police telling us that 16 bullets had been pumped into this vehicle you're seeing before us.